Welcome back. It's another Tuesday, Steve. 7:45. We here.
Okay.
We ready to rock and roll.
All right, let's go.
On time, ready to go. Relax.
Let's go.
Wait till I pass it off to you. You have to calm down,
Let's go.
We have to pay our bills. So now it's time to do
Pay our bills like we're getting money off this joint. We got 10 followers, 1 viewer. We're making a lot of money off of this joint.
Listen. This is what we doing out here.
All of our sponsors, future sponsors.
Listen. That doesn't matter right now. We got better quality from our streams.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's good. But anyways, listen, it is Tuesday. It is 7:45 p.m. But did you happen to check out an episode?
I stepped in for a minute.
For a second. Every Monday, 6:30 p.m. we drop a new episode.
What's the schedule?
It's not losing our minds, but every Monday, 6:30 p.m. we dealt with Christianity declining in the U.S.
I knew that.
So go and check that out. Every Monday, 6:30 p.m. new episode. We're up to 55 episodes. So go through, check it out. Let us know what you think. Like the videos, comment on the video, share the videos, and go make yourself a subscriber to our Righteous Unity YouTube channel, no matter what platform you're on. But today's not Monday. It's Tuesday, 7:45 p.m., which means it's another turn for us to have our live discussions. So make sure that you are interactive with us. You're asking questions. You're leaving comments. You are ready to engage whatever the topic is tonight. All right? Share this broadcast. Let other people that you think need this information, share it with them. You can share it on IG. You can share it through Facebook. You can even share on YouTube. So make sure you're sharing this, you're commenting, you're asking questions. Let's allow this to be more interactive. Now,
let's go.
Let's go. I turn it over.
Let's go
to you.
This is live. To reiterate real quick, we encourage you to make statements. We encourage you to ask questions. We encourage you to engage the dialogue. The whole purpose of us doing this is to really just create a platform, a safe place where we can have a good conversation going back and forth about certain things regarding Christianity, even to work through people's misconceptions, people's attitudes towards Christianity, believers' questions that they have about Christianity proper, biblical things, and so on. So, and then we talk about social issues, and we talk about certain dynamics of the Christian faith that so often might be ignored from the pulpit because it's too controversial, or it has too many other nuances to it that they don't want to spend the time to dig in and draw from the scriptures to make a clear image and give good biblical evidence for why we believe what we believe. So that's why we're here. This is our opportunity to have those kind of conversations. And so, engage. So tonight, me being a chef, a very good one at that.
Thought you was a cook.
Oh, okay.
Thought you was a cook, but all right, you're a chef. Okay, that's good to know.
Thought you were a bookkeeper. Went to school for bookkeeping, right?
Yeah, you're funny.
Yeah, exactly.
You're funny.
All right. There's a phrase that a lot of people use in the cooking world when they try to describe, why the flavors are so good and, how this dish tastes wonderful and so on. And then they use that phrase, I was cooked with love, right? It was cooked with love, right? And so what does that mean? Like you put some love in that bad boy? Like, there's a dash of love in your cupboard that that secret sauce that you put up in there, that love sauce, that love potion. I mean, what does it mean to cook with love? So I do cooking classes and, during the cooking classes, I try to talk to people about cooking with love because I like to be educational as well, right? And so, I'm not sure if you'll understand this because you really don't cook much. Do you, Jack?
Yeah, I do cook.
You do?
Yes, I do.
What you cook, Jack?
What?
What you cook?
Really? We're live and you
What you cook, Jack?
I throw in some ramen every now and then. Hook it up.
Then he opens up a bag, drops it in boiling water, stirs it around, adds the seasonings, and it's a wrap.
Hook it up, chicken, shrimp.
That's
beef. I make my shrimp.
Oh, he likes
chicken,
that quick dish. All right.
You know,
He likes that quick dish.
No, sometimes I'll make some chicken.
Nah.
I got my meat thermometer out there, making sure it's at the right temperature and everything.
Okay.
But don't
safety.
Yeah, but don't put me on the spot about cooking. You feel me?
So, cooking with love, which I try to talk to people about.
You gotta let it marinate. That's what I do. I don't just cook chicken on the same day and
Hear this guy?
Nah, my chicken goes in the season. It marinates at least for 12 hours. So go ahead though, because that's my love that I have.
That's what's up.
After I clean everything, I make sure that it marinates, inside the meat, not just on the outside.
That's what's up.
But go ahead though, because that's love.
So since you bring that up and you make reference to, the time frame in which your dish is marinating.
Yeah.
When we talk about cooking with love, I explain to people it really means to cook with patience. So the reason why I use that reference is because if you're ever going to truly love someone, you're going to have to know how to have patience with that person.
Okay.
Right? When we say we love, there's a lot of dynamics to that term. We can say love, but a lot of times it's used in its sensual manner of feelings. You know what I'm saying? I think the three Greek words to love. One is Eurus or I forget what it's called.
This guy here.
The main one we talk about in Christianity is agape love. The agape love. Then there's the brotherly love. I forget the terminology for that. And then the sensual love. I don't know the terminology for that. But what they're saying is, there's different kinds of distinctions when it comes to love. And the reason why I bring that up is a lot of times when we make the reference of love, we fail to understand the dynamics that must be collectively used to demonstrate love. And one of those important pieces when it comes to love is being able to have patience. So I make the scenario of cooking with love as cooking with patience, because if you want your food to taste good, sometimes you have to marinate it, and you can't just marinate it for 2 minutes. It has to sit and let the flavors, the spices, begin to activate themselves with the steak or with the chicken or whatever you're doing. So that takes time. Also, the patience of letting the technique you're using, allow it to do its thing, like to be patient with braising something where you braise it in liquid and you have to keep it in the oven and let the oven do its work. Let the braising method do its work. You have to be patient with that. You can't just throw something in the microwave and have it come out and expect it to be, it might take care of the hunger, but it doesn't really meet the qualifications of a flavorful dish, something that you can like layers of flavor that you're experiencing. Why? Because you just threw it in the microwave and then took it out and ate.
So those hungry man dinners you saying, man, they don't equate to
trash.
They don't equate to you actually
trash.
Going in there, marinating your food.
No, it ain't equivalent to real cooking. Again, though, it's a minute type meal. Sometimes those are necessary. Those 1 minute meals. But if it's going to be really good, you want the flavors. So it takes time. You have to spend time getting those flavors to develop. So I use that scenario, cooking with love, in reference to marriage, in regards to if I'm going to have a loving marriage, I have to be willing to develop patience with the one I'm married to. Now, Jack.
Oh, come on today. This is you pop quizzing a lot today. Co-host.
I want to honor you and Brittany because the two of you are celebrating 7 years of marriage.
Let's go. Woo!
Right? Come on, give it
lucky
up,
number
everybody.
7. Hey.
Lucky number 7.
Just for that, everybody should like this video. Just from that,
Right.
and share the video.
Right.
But yes,
7 years of marriage.
7 years
That
flew by, man.
flew by. Like
I feel like it was only 2 years, to be honest with you. Flew by. Wife is so great.
Yo, I love
Flew
it.
by. Like,
Okay,
she's
enough
amazing.
of that. This is supposed to be Real Talk Live, like
We-
truthfulness.
It is. It is
Mhm.
truthful. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you are married and you ain't got troubles, there's something going on with the marriage.
I didn't say we didn't have any issues or problems. I said that it only felt like we've been married for 2 years. I can't believe it's already
Is
been
it because
7 years.
you only really put 2 years of effort into the marriage?
I ain't been cooking like that. I've been giving her the hungry man type of station.
Not
Wait, listen. Hold on. Steve, I can say in the beginning, I mean, I'm only 7 years. So somebody who's watching this, some guy 20 or 15 years, like, dude, you're still
got 22 years.
You're right. So you'll still say that, you know, I'm still in the beginning stages, but
Mhm.
there's a lot that I learned with patience. But I think for me, this is who I am, and this is real talk. I'm always trying to find out what the standard is of God, because a lot of men who I respect and I'm cool with can provide me information of how they run their marriage and how they're manly men and things like that, right? But for me, I'm always looking at what the standard is, because when you pass and go, that standard is still going to be passed down.
Sure.
So for me, the challenges was being able to see that I wasn't living up to, and still in areas and moments that I'm still not being as great of a man of God as I should be for my wife, for my children. But let's just focus on marriage.
No, I get it.
So yeah, I had to develop, and I'm still developing. But one thing, and I don't know if I'm going ahead of you or not, you can stop me at any
Yeah,
point.
you're good. Go ahead.
Is that the bravado-ness to my marriage. I recognize that a lot of things can get done, a lot of compromise and communication can like, it's okay for me as the man, even though it sounds weird saying this, but it's okay for me as the man to compromise. In my mind, it sounds like I don't compromise, like I lead this household, but I recognize a lot of societal like things I remove.
The way you were nurtured
Yes.
has led you to that thinking that I can't compromise. I'm a man. It goes my way.
Yeah. I lead. I'm the head. But
Mhm.
as I read and I recognize and I look at verses that talk about loving my wife like as Christ loved the church, I look at the sacrifice of Christ. I look at the efforts. I'm like, oh, I'm bugging. I'm bugging in there. But once again, what are you utilizing to determine things?
Yeah. What's the measure you're gauging yourself off of?
So that allowed me to see that I'm really not as patient as I thought
Mhm.
I was.
No, I get it, but that's what kind of like the discussion I want to have this evening about marriage and, you know, about love. And I'm not here to challenge people when they say they love their wife or they love their husband or so on. I'm not here to discredit that or to say, do you really? I'm not here to say that. What I want to say is, because I'm a chef, I like to break things down by ingredients, right? I like to look at what I'm going to do. I want to look at the ingredients and I can say, oh, that sounds like a good dish because of the ingredients that are in there. So what I'm saying is, I know that's going to be a good marriage if there is patience involved in one another, to be able to work through scenarios and take a step back and really spend time listening. One of the things that my wife and I have learned to do that has helped us, which is a development of patience. A lot of times in the communication, you hear the words, but you're not really listening to what they're saying. Like my wife and I now, what we have to do is we have to stop each other and say, I hear what you're saying to me, but this is what I heard, which could be completely different than how they were actually saying it.
Yeah. I think we should spend some time on that. Give some examples. I want you of that. Of cooking with love.
Cooking with love. I'm serious. Like, there will be days where my wife and I will be in a conversation and I will say something. And me, the type of person that I am, I'm aggressive. I'm very passionate. And I may not always be thinking about the way it's going to land in my wife's ears, how it's going to affect her thinking. So I'll say something and she'll be like, Now we've gotten to a point where she'll be like, I heard what you said, but this is what I heard. I understand that you said this, but this is how I interpret it. This is what I heard. So I'll be like, no, baby. No, I didn't say you didn't know how to cook. What I just said was this dish is not as flavorful as the other dish you made. You see how easy that can get flipped?
Yeah, I don't know no dish.
I'll give you a
that's not
perfect
flavorful
example.
that my
When
wife
you were
makes.
to, if you were to say something like this, man, that was dumb. And they look at you and be like, oh, I'm stupid now. No, I didn't say you were stupid. I said that was dumb. But that can be interpreted as you saying that she's stupid or she's saying that you're stupid. I'm not saying this is what I said. I'm using it as an example.
Got you. Because I was about to say I ain't co-signing, but go ahead.
I'm using this, guys. I'm using this. This is a discussion. I'm cooking with love is cooking with patience, being able to spend time being patient, letting the thing naturally develop, letting your affections naturally grow in the environment it currently is in. Sometimes we will have attitudes towards each other. We've learned over the years that my wife sometimes has to just leave me alone. She'll see me in a certain mood. She'll see a certain look on my face. She knows I'm deep in thought about something that's disturbing me. She won't try to probe me to ask me, hey, you want to talk about it? She'll be like, she'll just get busy doing things around the house. She'll start doing this, she'll do that, she'll whatever. And she'll just let me, because she knows by halfway through the day, I'll have worked through it. And then I'll say, this is what was going on, blah, blah, blah. I had this going on. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about that. And now we're able to talk about it. But if she were to try to push me to speak before I'm ready to speak, that can become a bad conversation. So I want y'all to hear that. That's something that we had to learn. That's patience. That's being patient with each other. And it's vice versa with her. Like, I have learned that when she goes silent, I'm just going to let her be. I just walk away and I let her be. I'll come back later, check in on her, say what's good, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. If she's still got that demeanor about herself, I'll be like, okay, babe, I'll be back. Or I'm going to go get this. You want me to go get some, whatever. And then later on in the evening, she'll be like, this is what I was thinking about. This is what I was processing. And then it's a perfect conversation now. That moment can be a perfect conversation. But if earlier in the day, if I were to try to push her and she's not ready to talk about it, right? Well, that could be a problem because she could start snapping and, coming out and being and feeling like pressured and frustrated. And I gotta, give time for her to process it herself. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm only talking about this because I really want people to learn how important it is to be patient with each other, like to be able to spend that time working through things and being able to spend the time listening. I'm telling you right now, marriage is work. And those that have been married for a few years, a few months, or for many years, all of us will come to the conclusion, marriage is work. It's something that you have to be willing to spend time committing energy to it in order for it to grow organically and for love to abound.
Moderator, are we good? Let me ask you a question.
Man, nobody want to talk about marriage tonight.
Nobody wants to talk about cooking with love. Make sure we get the likes up, share, comment, questions. So you say cooking with love. Basically, you're saying cooking with patience or having patience.
Yes.
How would you define?
Go ahead.
Okay, I was just wanting to know, how do you define that? Is there, I always think about 1 Corinthians 13, chapter 13, addressing some things about love that can help you kind of piece together patience. But a lot of times people think patience is just waiting. And maybe in that example, you're saying, like with your wife, like, well, I'm just going to wait till she gets out of this mood, or I'm going to wait until, certain things, and then I'll address it later, or the case may be. And for me, and just allowing you a chance to speak, that while there is waiting in patience, that's not all that it encompasses.
That's always correct. Yeah, I mean, patience. We've talked about this before when we dealt with like being lazy Christians. Like they're sitting around waiting, right?
Yeah.
And the misconception is sitting around waiting is not always truly waiting. Like waiting is waiting on God to do his thing in that scenario. But while I'm waiting on God, I am very active doing so many other parts of my life that I have to be committed to. I can't sit down and not feed my children because I'm still waiting on God to answer a certain prayer.
Right.
So when it comes to marriage, it's the same thing. I might be waiting on my wife to be ready to talk, but I'm still going to go to work. I'm still going to take care of the things that I'm responsible for. I'm not going to just stop doing everything and wait for her to have a conversation with me all day. It might take 2 days. And like, I'm not going to go to work because she doesn't want to talk to me. I'm not going to take care of my children. I'm not going to respond to people who are asking me for asking questions and looking for answers or whatever. No, I'm going to still engage myself in all those things, but I'm going to be committed to her well-being at the same time. I'm going to make sure I'm ready. I'm going to be there for her when she's ready to talk.
Gotcha.
So it's still being very active. Waiting is never just dormant, just sitting there dormant. No, waiting is, for some, it could be learning to have the conversation in a right place. Sometimes we try to force having conversations in front of people that we should not be having conversations in front of people. I'm just saying. Maybe they don't feel comfortable talking, right?
Facts.
But when we're alone, now they want to engage and they want to talk. Here's disclaimer. I love my wife to death. She's awesome. She's amazing.
Anytime people say that beforehand.
Right. What kills me is back in the day, she doesn't do it much now because she gets just as tired as I do. When it's bedtime, it's bedtime. But back in the day, in our early stage of marriage, I would have been working all day. This is when she was watching the kids. So she didn't work when she was watching the kids. She stayed home. She was at home mom, which is awesome. That's why our children are blessed, because the mother stayed home. But anyways, so she'd be waiting for me to get home, right? She's not talking to little kids, little toddlers. So I would get home, I'd be exhausted. I'd be laying in bed, ready to close my eyes to go to sleep. And she would want to ask the most philosophical questions that requires all of my brain energy. And I would be like, in my mind, like, what? Woman, if you don't roll over and shut up and go to sleep, I'm going to go crazy right now. That was the old me. That was the old young me.
Okay.
Very aggressive.
There we go.
I'm the mature, well-seasoned, marinated, mature husband.
How does new, God, mature, spirit renewed, his mind renewed? David?
When she asked me that question, I'd just mush her in the face and go to sleep. No, I'm kidding.
Oh wow.
Okay. No, I'm ready to engage because I understand it's a very meaningful moment, and I understand the fruit that's going to come out of that. So I spend the time working through that. Yeah, there are days when my brain might be on fire of tiredness, but I see the value of the importance of my wife needing to be able to talk at that moment. Now, again, our latter years, she hasn't done that much as far as talking at night right before I'm going to sleep. We have great conversations. Just being able to just converse. You want to know what? You want to know something that really helped our marriage a lot? You'll be amazed. Something that really helped our marriage. Like it really.
I got it. I know it. I got it. Hands are raised, teacher. I know it.
You don't know it. What?
You being quiet.
That was good. That was cute, right? That was cute.
You being quiet.
You want to know something that was amazing? We realized it. So for about maybe 2 years.
Wow, took that long for you to process that. All right, go ahead.
No. So we used to have a TV in our room, okay, and it broke, and I was too cheap to buy one.
Okay.
So I just didn't put a TV in our room. You know what I'm saying? So by not having a TV in our room,
it made you have to talk.
It made us have to converse at night when we're lying down going to sleep.
I just bought my wife a TV.
Now, wait a minute. Now,
in
we
the
have
room.
a TV in our room now, but what we have learned, we moderate,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We're careful about, there's some nights we don't even turn the TV on. You know, we say we just lay in bed and just talk or, you know, joke around or whatever, you know, and then, and then,
I can't with this guy.
and then, you know, but that helped us. We saw that. Like we were both amazed at the fact of how much we were engaging each other without having a TV in the room, that we had to talk. And it wasn't like we weren't talking, but we realized how much more talking. And then there's these little nuances that you start to develop in your marriage that I feel like many times that's what you will miss in a marriage. Like we talk about all the time. My wife loves to ask this question. This is the question she loves to ask me. She'll be like, babe, what would be the one thing that you would really miss if I were to pass away? Like, come on now, come on. And I'll be like, babe, there are so many. I don't even know what
I can't give you one.
I can't just give you one answer. I just, you know, I don't even know what to say right now. There's just so many. And of course, she'd be like, yeah, that was your easy way of trying to get out of it. But I want to know, give me one reason, give me one thing that you would miss if I were to pass away. But what I'm saying is the nuances of those little things that we learned about each other while we were able to lay down at night and speak because we didn't have a TV, and developing a relationship of learning more about each other, hearing different things, joking, and those little nuances that you see. There are things that people will never know about your wife. And it doesn't even have to be like information. It's just little quirks that she might have about herself that you notice yourself that make you smile or make you laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the little nuances that you will have in a marriage that nobody else will know about. And those are the things that you start to treasure more over the physical stuff of, you know, what gifts you get or, you know, where we go on vacations or whatever. It's those little things that we notice about each other that nobody else sees. It's the little smirks. My wife, she can see my facial expression and she already knows what kind of answer I'm about to give her. Just because she sees my facial structure, how it starts to frame because of what I'm going to say. She knows I'm going to be very sarcastic and she'll be like, don't you dare say something stupid coming out your mouth, because she'll see the way I'm. And those are the funny things that we know about each other, right? But those are the nuances. Those are the little pieces of the marriage that you will learn to value, because you two can be in a room and have inside jokes just by the way you look at each other, the little grins you give each other, little things that you hear that then you look at each other and you just be like, and those warm moments, right, help you to have a very passionate experience with your husband or wife, and you learn to enjoy those things. But that takes patience to develop. That takes patience to grow into, and to learn.
Yeah, I wanna. It's all good and nice and great. Make sure you like the video, share the broadcast.
This guy.
So what happens, Steve? You're a cook. I mean, a chef. What happens? Okay, Paulie's not reading the YouTube comments. What happened when
YouTube,
when the dish?
How would he read the? Hold on, y'all. How's he gonna read YouTube? He's got Instagram, Facebook. You got the YouTube.
He's supposed to pull it up on his phone. If Renija was here, she would. She would.
Yo, first of all, you're live.
Oh, right. Is Renija in there? I'm tuned in. Oh, thank you, moderator. Listen, we have been missing you because this guy has not been reading any comments. He hasn't reading any comments. But Steve, what happens when?
Yo, he's cooked. That dude is cooked.
Steve, what happened? I believe.
Thank you, Renija. That's why you need to be here. So
yes,
Chris is dying.
Chris been saying something. Brittany's been saying something. You haven't been.
Come on, Paulie.
Brittany's watching on Facebook too. I don't know how she's watching on two devices.
Listen, that doesn't matter. I hope she's liking on both devices. But let's address something here, because you talked about
get the comments to read them.
Having patience, and it comes with time when you want to cook a dish.
Yep.
And then you start off in the beginning. addressing with me. Jack, you're only 7 years in, blah, blah, blah. But I want to talk about what happens when you're following the recipe, but maybe not getting that dish correctly. How do you develop then the patience to, and I'm not saying, I'm saying that to help out, because right
Yeah.
now you're giving us the violin and it sounds so great and I love it. Like, you're just so in sync. But what happens when I marinated the chicken, I did everything right, and then it doesn't come out tasting well? It doesn't, like, what should be in my mind that allows me to still follow the recipe again the same way and do
So
it?
what's so great about recipes is that you can doctor the recipe. Sometimes people don't like as much heat that's in the original recipe. I can omit certain amount of heat to make it more palatable for me,
Okay.
right? So when you talk about you're following the recipe, maybe there's certain things you have to tweak. There's measurements in each recipe. Some people like a little bit more, some people like a little bit less. There are certain things that I know I can press my wife into, and then there's certain things I can't press my wife into in regards to, what we're going through or what we're talking about. There are certain aspects of our marriage to this day that are very, 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 very touchy subjects, very touchy. Like when I bring them up, she's ready to fight.
Okay. Not obviously physical.
No,
We're
no,
joking.
physical, fist fight. She's ready to fist fight. Okay.
Okay.
I'm an abused husband. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But what I'm saying is there are certain things that we have not gotten to yet, and we're slowly working on them. She understands them. She just doesn't like me to bring them up. She wants to work on them on her own. But
So how do you develop
Yeah,
the patience?
Is
Is it that you see other elements in which this person has grown?
correct?
And okay.
So I've learned, her and we have worked on things. I see her trying. I see her, like, we put goals. She breaks the goals, but we work through them and then we try again. I'm trying to help husbands and wives. Everything in marriage does not go as planned. To your point, the recipe, I'm trying. Everything does not go as planned. Okay. As long as you stay within the structure of the recipe, meaning as long as you are putting patience in there, how much at this time, maybe a little bit more at certain times. Maybe you don't have to have so much patience because things are working better now and so on. So you have to stay within the framework, but at each person, everything doesn't work out the way you want it to. And so you have to be flexible or patient. You have to be willing to work through things. There are times you have to make room for a conversation. There are times when you keep pushing off the conversation. You have to face the fiddle. You have to face the music. We have to speak about this. We have to talk about this. We have to deal with this so that we can both get more out of this marriage. We both want this marriage to be successful, but we both have to see our part in order to get the best out of this marriage. And so that's what we have to do as individuals. And so, again, our experience, like I said, we've been married for 22 years. There have been some very, very dark days, but we've gotten through them and we have grown significantly through those times. And we have learned to love each other even the more through those dark times. And so in order for you to really benefit or get the fruit out of your marriage, you must be willing to spend the time going through those moments that are very challenging and difficult about each other to reap the fruits from that. And that's why I say cooking with love, cooking with patience, spending the time, being more considerate, being patient, and working through the different kind of challenges that we have in our marriages. You know what I'm saying? And there are many areas in the marriage that gets affected by, and that there's many parts of the relationship in the marriage that gets affected. Our upbringing, how each of us were raised, clashes in the marriage. How we look at finances, clashes in the marriage. How we want to raise our children, clashes in the marriage. How we want to make love, clashes in the marriage. Why? Because we both have our own perspective of what we want to experience in that moment, whatever it may be, or what we would like to do with what we have. And so we have to remember these things when we go to talk or deal with these elements that are happening in our marriage or in our relationship, because that's what a marriage is. It's a relationship, a commitment to one another till death do us part.
We didn't discuss this piece. Obviously, it's an important piece, but how much God impacts these the patients. You brought up a great point, which I was waiting to get to, but you stated it now. How the compatibility of people, which your upbringing is going to challenge a lot of things.
Your experiences, all
experiences.
of those things.
But I think it's so important because God can work through all of these things, right? If we have a great understanding of who God is, His love, His mercy, His forgiveness, His patience, that really there's going to come a limitation within our humanity where we're listen. I've been cooking this for how long, and it still ain't work. I've been
Yeah.
Whereas God, and I'm still you still probably will have your flesh be like, God, sit this one out for a second. I want to go here.
We always want to answer our own prayers. We always want to answer our own prayers. We want to be in control of the answer of how the prayer gets answered.
Because it's like the Hungry Man dinner. I can satisfy
right
then and there.
Yeah, because that's what we want. That 1 minute, moment of just trying to get our prayers answered instead of, letting God work it through and be patient, So, were you going with something with that?
No,
I
just wanted to throw in the perspective that if there are people watching this and addressing, like, I know I need to be more patient, and I know my upbringing and challenges have caused these things.
Oh God, you're talking
what can
about
I
God.
do to help?
Yeah.
That is where you do lean on God, because He will equip you with the strength to trust, with the strength to tame your tongue, because the Bible says no man can do it within their own self. You may want to say something right then and there, but God can.
Last week, go ahead and put out all comments.
Yeah, Chris Curtis says, Pastor Steve, you should write a book, Cooking with Love, the agape power of agreement.
Amen, Chris. I like that.
You have a book inside of you, and it's waiting to come out.
All right, sir. Speaking that into existence. All right. So I said something last week about spiritual warfare. You remember when I said spiritual warfare? Sometimes that spiritual warfare is for you.
Yes.
You need to go into spiritual warfare for yourself, not about, handling people's demons and everything, but to handle your own weaknesses, your own flesh, right?
Right.
It's the same thing with marriage. We go to prayer to have God fix our husband or fix our wife. A lot of times you need to be going to prayer for yourself and gain more of a relationship with God to tame your heart to help your spouse naturally grow. I don't want my wife to do something for me because I said it. I want my wife to do something with me because she sees the mutual benefit of our marriage being more healthier as she follows that wisdom, and vice versa. My wife doesn't want me to just. My wife, listen, my wife is awesome. I love her. She can be a bully sometimes. She has her ways. She can be a bully. And she likes the fact that I'm husky, I'm strong, I'm manly, because she knows she'll try and be a bully, and she knows I don't put up with that sometimes. I'll be like, yo, calm down. Okay, I don't know who you're talking to. I'm the man up in this. No, I'm kidding. I don't do that. But my wife would like to try to be, a little bully, and she likes the fact that I'm rugged, so that she can, sometimes she tries to, bully her way or her wishes onto me. And I'll be like, wait a minute, calm down. Let's talk about this. Let's go through this. And I'm saying all that because she is happy I'm like that. Sometimes she wishes that I would give into her some of her things that she wants, but she's happy that I'm a strong enough man that I stop that and I'll be like, listen, no, let's talk about this. We're not always going to go that direction. We're not always going to work it that way or whatever. And she appreciates that because she knows she has a leader. She has a husband who is a leader, not someone who just gives into her emotions all the time or gives into when she wants to have whatever. I'm being very careful right now.
Please, social media platform. Thank you.
But at the same time, she respects me. And like I said, I would never want my wife to do anything because I told her to do it. I want her to do it because we've conversed and she respects the wisdom and she understands the mutual benefit that we both will have in a marriage as she listens to the advice I give and vice versa. There are many things that my wife has helped me with, Like I said earlier, I'm a very passionate, aggressive person. And sometimes I'm ready to unleash on people. I'm ready to just like go in telling somebody about themselves or whatever. And she'll be like, so let me ask you something. And she'll want to say some things to me. And she'll like, say, well, you might want to consider this that I wasn't thinking about. And by her giving me that hindsight vision, I'm like, you know what? You're right. I'm glad I listened to you, because I would have, man, if I said some stuff, that would have been really bad. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm willing to listen to her. So we have that ability of working together. But I say all that, as I said earlier, because I have gone to prayer for me. I don't go to prayer just for my wife. I do pray for my wife, but I'm going to prayer for Steve Foreman. Like, I need God to change Steve Foreman's heart. So that way, when my wife and I do go through something, we're capable of sticking together and being patient with each other, because we've gone to God for ourselves. I'm not trying to brainwash my wife. I'm not trying to pray my wife into being what I want her to be.
Right.
I need her to be who God wants her to be. That's the best marriage I'm going to have, by letting her be the woman that God wants her to be. My marriage will be so blessed if I commit my thinking to that, to just letting my wife be who God wants her to be.
Agreed.
Agreed?
Yeah, she's gonna be watching this video too, so she's gonna hold you to that. She's definitely gonna hold you.
Paul,
to
you
that.
get all those comments like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
It's this guy right here. Like, who is this dude?
Well, listen, no matter unless you have anything else to
Man, I could ramble all day about this marriage thing, man.
about cooking with love.
Cooking with love. This is just a very small. There are so many other things we could talk about, marriage and patience and so on. But I just wanted to kind of like use that as a scenario to think about when we talk about cooking with love. We talk about cooking with patience, because if you're going to love somebody, you have to be willing to be patient with somebody. You have to really spend the time to be patient and work through scenarios. So,
Yeah, and
Paulie, any comments?
And I think
all of them.
oh he's going. He better be cooking with love.
Yeah, he's gonna get cooked. That's what's gonna happen later. He's gonna get cooked.
Even thinking about like the analogy about the dish and everything like that, your mindset is you want people to enjoy the meal. That's why you're spending
Mutually,
all this time.
yes.
And so the same way is that you want this in this covenant that you're in, you want this person, you want to do as much as you can for God amongst each other, like knowing that you're pleasing God, knowing that that you all are doing the will of God together. And so
Correct.
that requires, you said, patience. It requires not being selfish. It requires not thinking of any evil, which is going to require depending and leaning on God. So I challenge everybody that while you're cooking with love or cooking with patience in your marriage, in your relationship, that you also learn how to lean on God and go to prayer while still being active. I like that. Go to prayer while still being active.
Yes. Like, you're not going to stop. Like, she still might need you to run errands, right? Being patient is, well, I'll run those errands once you do what I need you to do.
Yeah,
that's not patience. Patience is, I'm gonna give her space. I'm gonna still run those errands for her. While I'm at the store, she might come up and be like, while you're out, can you give me some milk? Hey, did you want to talk about that right now? No, that's not why she called you. She called you to tell you, while you're out, can you pick up some milk also? But in your mind, you're like, man, okay, she called me, so maybe she'll want to talk now. No, she called you to get some milk because she knows you're out doing errands. Don't be bothering her talking about, hey, did you want to talk about that right now?
Wait, you could call me to go run some errands, but you can't call me to have this conversation.
Right, but that's what you want. That's the selfish side we have, right?
Out.
That selfish side would be like, in your mind, it'd be like, oh, you can call me for all that. Like, you had no problem picking up the phone to call me to tell me to get some milk. So obviously you could definitely talk.
So you can talk.
And
Okay.
you can think. And you can put two and two together. Steve out the door in the car, out and about, equals pick up milk. Or you can dot the line. If you can connect the dots that way, she should be able to connect the dots, have this rational conversation.
Yeah.
But if you say all that, you're done. You're cooked, because you have to be patient.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that. That's why I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't. 7 years strong, baby.
That's what's Nate and Jack and Brittany are celebrating their 7 years yesterday, right?
Yesterday was 7 years.
The
7
12th.
going on 70. That's what I tell her.
That's what's up.
7 going on 70.
That's what's up.
You know,
That's awesome. Good for y'all.
in it to win it. All right. So listen. Make sure that I see we having some likes, but make sure if you're looking at this video right now, make sure you click the like button on IG, on YouTube,
Facebook.
and even on Facebook. Make sure that you go back and check out the episodes that drop every Monday, 6:30 p.m. There's 55 episodes. All you gotta do is click on the playlist. You can go through, pick out which episode that you like that are intriguing to you. Go back, comment, give feedback, and then share it. We want more people to look at the content, so share it to different people. Go out and try to get one new subscriber, a person who hasn't heard about the channel. Go back in, make sure that we can get one new subscriber, so that way they can click the notification bell, and then next Tuesday, they can come back here for another live discussion. And if you have any comments or any topics that you want to talk about, let us know, and we can bring that up for next Tuesday.
Yep.
Anything else, co-host?
Yeah, I want to say shout out to my man yesterday. My man Tone, him and his girlfriend had their first child. Shout out to him. Healthy baby came
congrats,
out.
Congrats.
Yeah, they had a healthy baby. That was awesome. So we just wanted to give that shout out too. So good for them. You know, strong, healthy baby. And we pray that the two of you will just be strong to raise that child up, be a strong individual. Amen. So I just wanted to say that too. So I'm done. I'm good. This is a good conversation.
I like it. I like it. Make sure you're back here next Tuesday, 7:45 p.m. And make sure you're subscribing to the channel so you can be
All right,
informed
dude,
of.
you said that enough. You're overselling now. Chill out. Y'all have a great evening. God bless y'all. Take care.
I got cooking with love, huh? I almost told you.